All right, guys, it's that time of the year again. We're doing a tier list, and as a content creator, I am way, way overdue. But we're adding a twist to this one. I'm adding a guest. Sonic, so what's up, man?
Yo, what's good, everybody?
Yo, so Sonic's gonna help me out. Before we start, Sonic, I want to go back because, like I said, I haven't done a tier list since the beginning of the entire season. And we're gonna look back, take a look at this tier list. This is the tier list I made before Evil happened, before even Rashid was released. Take a look at this. Look at the downplay. It's everywhere.
Oh my god.
I know. A lot of stuff has changed since then. But I'm going to catch everyone up real quick. The biggest disagreement, I looked back on my comments, actually was Cammy. A lot of my comments said they should have put Cammy up with Dee Jay on this row. They would have put her up. And now looking back on this, if we were going to do kind of a mid tier list after like Evil and Gamers 8, the big 400 grand turn with Cat Crew, I definitely would have moved JP up and Ken up. It would have been looked like something like this. And Luke in particular, you saw I had Luke on S tier. That was very specific. That was for Luke with modern controls. That's why I had him at S. But the modern control hype has really died down since then. Otherwise, I would have put Luke simply at the top of A+. And it makes sense because there was a lot of knowledge with Luke because we had the Street Fighter 6 demo going off, right? With those huge sets with Daigo. So it gave him a good head start. So that's over with. We're now caught up. So Sonic, what do you want to name these tiers? What kind of tiers do you want for this one?
Well, there definitely needs to be a God tier.
God tier? Or how about zero downplay tier?
Zero downplay.
The zero downplay is obviously a joke, but I want everyone to be clear that the game is reasonably balanced, especially for a first season. Even if a character is in the lowest tier, guys, it doesn't mean the character cannot win a major. There has been a win with almost every single character in the CPT circuit. So the game is actually reasonably balanced, but there's obviously characters that have more of an advantage over others. I guess, Sonic, we should start with the two super easy ones. Zero downplay characters. I was a victim of the JP downplay at the beginning of the season. I fell for it, dude. I fell for it with JP. I'm like, yeah, man, you know, like Amnesia, it's not quite like a DP, bro. You know. He doesn't have the pressure that Guile does when Guile has you in and blah,
look
blah,
at you
blah.
now.
I know.
Look at you now.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm
eating your words, bro. So that's the first thing. JP, he's playing like NRS or like Guilty Gear, but he's definitely not playing. He's not playing Street Fighter at all, bro.
No.
He has disjoints on all his punch normals. So you can't whiff punish him at all unless you walk into his range, which is what he wants. And at the same time, he has portal and spikes. So that way, anytime you approach him, he just zones you out. Or the portal will be there like a Marvel versus Capcom assist. Anytime you try to play neutral with him and you mess up and he whiff punishes you, that portal goes off. He gets big deeps into set play with another portal, so it goes into itself. And he could choose to either send you to full screen or be next to you and do another setup on you. On top of that, the character has a lot of damage output. All his supers are really good. All of them go full screen. All of them win in Fireball War. Level 2 is the most degenerate level 2 I have ever seen.
One of the best level 2s in the game, if not the best. What about Amnesia, Sonic?
Oh my god, bro. Listen, that move, dog. Like,
you can lose for throwing JP. You can actually lose.
It literally is Ivan Ooze from the Power Rangers for all the boomers out there that know what it is. It's Ivan Ooze. I'm telling you, there's no other character in any fighting game that has that kind of reversal but Ivan Ooze. I'm serious.
So you would say he's a top 2, if not a top 1?
Top 1. Easily the best character in the game.
I think he's a top 1 as well. That's the only like argument you can make. He's either top 2 or top 1. I don't think there's any downplay. It's funny too because we got a downplay war saga going right now between Ken and Luke. And the funny part is like Ken players and Luke players are going at it back and forth, but the JP players, they're just quiet, bro. They're not making a peep. They're not saying anything. They've just accepted their fate. They just know they're getting nerfed to the ground, and they've just accepted it. Both of us agree that we're gonna throw Ken in there too on the absolute zero downplay.
Of course.
So, like I said, there is a downplay war going on right now. Sonic, are you Team Ken or are you Team Luke? Who is better?
I honestly think you're arguing between who's rich and richer.
Dude, I'm Team Luke all the way, baby. Okay, so Ken, he actually is part of this game, unlike JP. But the thing about Ken is he pretty much has 0 weaknesses.
This character plays Street Fighter 6 at like the highest level. He actually plays the game. He owns the game.
Yes.
He's a bum in a construction worker site, but he owns a copy of Street Fighter 6. That's how he's able to
he owns shares too. It's like the TV show where the boss portrays himself as an employee. Undercover boss. Yeah.
He'll do jab, target combo, and sending you to the corner with run Tatsu. Fire it up! And I'm just like, why am I now in the corner and holding set play? He could do any combo into Tatsu. I'm in the corner. Then he could do whiff roundhouse Jinrai into low. He could do jab whiff into overhead. He could do run stop throw. He could safe jump off of that same knockdown. He could double dash and he's +6 like it's Mario Kart. He don't care. He's gonna be next to you and he's gonna set play you. He literally has better vortex than Kimberly. How does this character have better set play than the character designed to set play you?
Dude, Ken, meterless conversions that can full screen corner carry you meterlessly, or side switch up to you, including his level 1, which can side switch you back if he wants to. His buttons, one of the best 5 frames in the game.
5 frame in the game.
Standing light kick. Crouching me and kick. One of the best crouching me kicks in the game. 7 frames. 7 frames, dude. He also has one of the fastest drive rushes in the game. I think he's top 3 drive rush in speed. Drive rush, heavy punch. Active frames. How many, Sonic? How many?
5, bro. 5 active frames. He could cancel during all 5 of those active frames, and it has a 19 frame hit confirm window.
Heavy
kick. Literally make a sandwich and just confirm the heavy punch. Heavy kick. He lands that as a whiff punish. He's literally taking your butt to the corner. If he could just do drive rush jab, bro. Drive rush jab. Shoryuken. Speaking of his Shoryuken, did you know that he's the only character in the game with a heavy Shoryuken, meterless, that can go through fireballs?
No, I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, if you go in the lab right now and you have Ryu do low forward fireball, that is not a true block string.
Interesting.
Every other character has to do drive impact. Only Ken, meterless, can do heavy DP.
Now, if Ken doesn't want to play neutral at all, he can definitely skip it too. Dragon Lash kick, Jinrai kick with 0 pushback.
And then he could do overhead into level 3, which does like half
Wait. Ken doesn't have overhead, Sonic.
What are you talking about?
That's what the down players are saying. Ken doesn't have an overhead.
Oh my God. Just because he can't drive rush overhead you doesn't mean he can't just run overhead you and just do super.
Okay, Sonic, we got a lot of characters to get through here, okay? Moving on, I guess. I think there's only 2 characters that are in the 0 down play spot. Do you agree with me so far?
Yes.
All right,
I 1000% agree.
All right, let's go to the A+ now. I want to start with Team Luke. I'm going to throw Luke in there. So,
yes, I agree.
Like I said, there's a war going on right now, guys, between Ken players in a very desperate last-second attempt because they know they're getting nerfed to the ground. They are trying to direct all of the attention and hate on Luke. The thing about Luke is almost a character with 0 weaknesses as well. Luke is extremely strong, okay? Crouching medium punch, 6 frames, goes full screen, godlike.
Disjointed.
Yeah, all of his buttons are godlike. His damage is godlike. He's got good corner carry, a really good fireball. He's close to Ken in that regard, and he still belongs in the game. The problem with Luke, when we compare him directly to Ken, is that Luke's got 2 weaknesses compared to Ken, in my opinion. The first and the biggest one is that Luke does not have fireball drive rush. Has a much harder time skipping neutral than Ken does. And of course, his drive rush speed is not as fast as Ken's. The second thing is I think Luke is pretty meter hungry, where a lot of his conversions, he has to cancel in the drive rush, like crouching me and kick.
3 bars.
Yeah, 3 bars, crouching me and kick drive rush or crouching me and punch drive rush. It's not a big weakness, but those are like the 2 main ones, whereas Ken has meterless conversions. Do you agree with me that JP, Ken, Luke is top 3, or you think there's another top 3?
No, that's the top 3.
So we're both in agreement so far?
Solidified.
I'm glad you can agree. There's going to be some debate here, I'm sure, because the next character I'm going to bring up, there's going to be a lot of talk about, and that is, I think Dee Jay goes in A+. Do you agree with me? This is our first disagreement?
I hate Dee Jay. I hate him.
That's not what I asked, Sonic.
But I don't think he's top 5.
Okay.
I will say that.
He's got the fastest drive rush in the game.
He does.
Drive rush light is unstoppable. I think he's got the second highest damage output in the game too, next to Marisa. He has a lot of plus buttons, standing medium punch, one of the most devastating fireball drive rushes as well, because
it launches you.
It launches you and he can convert. But I do think the reason why I don't have DJ higher than Luke, main ones off the top of my head, is that he doesn't have crouching medium kick drive rush cancel, and his level 1 sucks. I think DJ's level 1, if DJ's put in burnout, he's in serious trouble.
That's one of the main reasons that I don't have him in top 5, but I have him like very close. Because if he's burned out, what is he doing me? He has to just spam sway. He has good anti-airs with like back hard kick, jackknife upper. But the thing about those tools is he has to not be doing any normal.
Yeah, he has to charge.
I'm not saying that to downplay him and say like he's like a weak character, because clearly he's not. I'm just saying, me personally,
that's cool, dude.
The weaknesses are definitely apparent compared to the other characters we talked about.
Yeah.
And he's still pretty good. Like, he has a good side switch as well.
Okay, moving on. The next character that we might disagree with, and this is another character that's been getting a lot of attention lately, that's playing really hot alongside DJ, and I think that is Chun-Li. Where are your heads on Chun-Li? You do agree with Chun-Li. She has no throw loops. That's like the big thing you're gonna hear, Sonic. She's got no throw loops, Sonic.
She got no mix.
She's got no mix. Right? No throw loops, no mix. But what does she have? Drive rush, fireball. No, it's really interesting too, because Chun-Li, we saw Haitani use Majin, and it was really cool seeing how powerful Chun-Li is when her potential kicks as an anti-air can be used on the fly. She's so strong defensively. But now fast forward to now, and now we're seeing nonstop classic Chun-Li. Now we're seeing players like Moke use the potential kicks as if he's using modern controls. You know, he's throwing it out. And then Valmaster is showing the strength of Chun-Li, just playing her straight up ST mode, like straight nooch, just like Chris Wong. One of the best matches of the year, in my opinion, by the way, and showing the power of Chun-Li standing light punch, crouching medium punch,
medium kick.
Crouching medium kick, 7 frames, and stopping drive rush. Really powerful. Another thing too is that Valmaster didn't even use the potential kicks. When you jump in on Chun-Li and you do the right conversion to the stance switch, you can eat half damage. You can lose half your health if she has level 3. Just on anti-airs alone.
She has probably one of the faster walk speeds in the game. One of the biggest things about this character is any conversion that she does, she can get a safe jump. Any conversion that she can get with like drive rush or like any way to launch you, she can go into the toe tap, which is an immediate safe jump. Like, it's low to the ground, and then she can do jump heavy kick.
She has slight weaknesses like the other A+, very slight. I think like one obvious one is her floaty jump, especially in a game like Street Fighter 6 where jump-ins are so explosive where you can lose like 70% on a jump-in. Chun-Li, she can't like abuse it as well as a character like Luke. I don't think potential kicks is as strong as a traditional uppercut. So now, Sonic, we have a top 5 established here. Okay, so the only one is disagree with DJ. Okay, so who takes DJ's place? And we'll talk about that character next.
Guile.
Why do you have Guile rated so high?
Guile Sonic Boom is ridiculous. Guile legit recovers immediately from Sonic Boom, so from almost any range. The main thing is that he doesn't have to play the same game as everybody else, especially when he's burned out, right? Like, he doesn't have to really worry too much about drive gauge. He can just like zone you and play his initial game, and he doesn't have to like overextend.
Okay, so he's just really strong without meter.
Yes, very strong without meter. He doesn't need to actually use that much meter. Obviously, he has some hard matchups like with JP.
Well, that's the main thing that I think keeps Guile under control right now, is that one of his hardest matchups is JP, who just so happens to be one of, if not the most popular, best character in the game. The chances of you running into JP is so high. So like the only players that are sticking with Guile are like Guile specialists.
Unlike DJ, where like his air slashers have a lot of recovery and a lot of his normals have way more recovery, Guile doesn't have that much recovery on some of his Sonic Booms, if at all.
I would still put DJ ahead of Guile, but we're talking the difference between top 5 and like top 6. Like
top 6, exactly.
Yeah, you're favoring more of Guile's strengths, right, than I am compared to DJ's strengths. So the next one is really interesting. If we're talking about the downplay wars, I think this character is probably one of the only successful top tier characters that has successfully convinced me and downplayed me. I'm serious. I'm still a victim. I don't know what happened. I don't know if all of the Juri players came together, they united, and they said to themselves before Evil started, they said to themselves, we're gonna lose starting now. All of us together. No one is going to win a tournament. We're barely going to show up in top 8, and the downplay starts now, and we're running the long con, and we're going to get buffed for season 2. And I think the Juri players are successful, man. Where did I have her on my first tier list? I had her at 8+. Now I have her below top 5. There are even Juri players out there saying she's not even top 10 Sonic.
They moved on to a character that did better, like
what,
Dee Jay.
What happened though? Like Juri is also made for this game. She has excellent buttons. Standing heavy kick, standing medium kick. Her crouching medium kick is also one of the best crouching medium kicks in the game. She has the second fastest drive rush, full screen drive rush. She follows the fireball drive rush meta. You know,
yes.
Her level 2 is not bad as well. It puts you in the corner. Yeah, her damage is great. Her pressure is great. So, like, why is a character that's so meta? Why is she down here?
You know, when Jamie like breaks a throw, he's like, "You're basic." That's literally what Juri is. She's basic. At the highest level, only really operates with like one goal in mind, and that's fireball drive rush or just drive rush. Because her fireball is like a Iori's fireball in KOF or like Soul Bad Guy's fireball in
it goes along the ground.
Gear. It goes along the ground. It doesn't actually like traverse horizontally with a good range. So like characters like Guile blow her up. Characters like Ken and Luke
Zangief hop kick goes over.
Zangief goes over it. Yeah,
I see. Okay.
There's a lot of characters that can just bypass the fireball. So then what happens is she's kind of stuck trying to like get into mid range where like her buttons are really good, but then characters are literally bypassing the neutral. I think the set play with Feng Shui engine is really good, and I think that more people need to explore the level 2.
The chat is bringing up a lot that she needs stocks. Like that is just something that other characters don't have to deal with. Even though the stock system is a lot better in Street Fighter 6, way better.
It's definitely way better than Street Fighter 5, where she literally didn't have any access to those moves.
All right, so we have established our top 7 so far, but Sonic, I'm sorry. This isn't my top 7. This is not. I'm sorry. I had to do this because I had to make sure you didn't see this one coming. This is my top 7. Cammy.
On my list, she's number 7 as well.
Oh, we both have her at top. Oh, damn. She does have some obvious weaknesses. Her dive kicks, now that Capcom wants you to use her dive kicks in a very specific way. It's not used to just straight up crush buttons anymore. They wanted to use it as just another trajectory for Cammy to get in. But she also has some really huge strengths that keeps her relevant, that she's so good at closing the gap, and she's such a good like anti-zoner kind of character because spin knuckle is just absurdly fast. It's so fast. She's got a really good crouching medium kick. Her damage is not insane, but she does such a good job putting to a corner, and her corner pressure is phenomenal. It's like really, really good because of her +1 crouching heavy punch.
There's a lot of Cammy players, but unfortunately the character just has to work a little harder than the other characters that do her job a little better. Her offense can be really good because she's so capable of throw looping you. Yeah. Her walk speed's really strong.
You can punish fireballs on reaction with it. That's what I mean by fast.
Anytime she has meter and she uses like EX spin knuckle, you cannot throw a fireball. Like she actually is the queen of punishing people who try to zone her. One of the best level 3s in the game. Yeah, she does. Anytime she sees you whiff, you die. 9 frames. Anytime she sees you whiff, you die. She has probably also the easiest way of like side switching because she could do like back medium punch, back heavy kick into hooligan dive kick, and now you're in the corner.
If we go back to Street Fighter 4, where dive kicks had like no height restriction, you can neutral jump them. They're like, we're going Rufus and Young, like. And then we go to Street Fighter 5 where they made it so it's like forward jump restriction, height restriction.
Yes.
And then now with Street Fighter 6, it looks like Capcom just really wants to make sure that dive kick is like deliberately used for just another trajectory. It's not like used to just throw it out every 5 seconds.
The other thing about this character is they gassed up Hooligan in the trailer, but why is that move? That doesn't exist. Like the move,
it's kind of a knowledge check move. It's not. It's there's some characters that like can deal with it as well, like maybe like Aki, but
and there are certain setups.
There are certain setups
to make the hooligan work, but it's just not something that consistent Cammy players are doing.
All right, let's move on. We got our top 8 established now. So, do you think any other character should be on the same level as Guile, Cammy, or Juri? Okay, I'm gonna throw Marisa in here. I'm gonna throw Rashid. I'm gonna go Blanka in this order right now. Let's start. I know you really want to talk about Rashid, but let's start with Marisa, because Marisa has been well established at the beginning. She's also very popular too in many tournaments. She has big weaknesses as a character, but her strengths are so powerful that she just doesn't have any bad matchups. The highest damage output in the game, you are never out with Marisa. Never out. In some cases, one touch you. If you're in burnout and she hits you level 3, you're in the corner, you're pretty much dead, because it's a guaranteed you in the corner. Stun. Yeah, drive rush, crouching medium punch, and then you're stunned, and not very many characters can deal with it. The big weaknesses of Marisa is her crouching heavy punch is unreliable, because it has to be very well spaced, its speed and its hitbox. She doesn't have a reversal, but her OD Scutum gives her unique ways to steal back her turn and dealing with pressure as well.
One thing you should probably mention is medium punch. That normal is
sending medium punch is like incredible with Marisa. It's so good. It's got detached hitboxes. A lot of Marisa players just mash on this button. She also has one of the best safe jumps in the game, because it's just such an easy safe jump.
Easy safe jump.
Since she has a command grab with that safe jump, it just makes her really scary. It's just her moves are just so multi-purpose, dude. Like the Gladius is just it helps. You don't have to worry about drive impact, right? You can absorb hits with it. Good range, really good. Like Marisa does so much drive chip. If you're not parrying Marisa, you'll be burnt out so fast. And the Superman punch, same thing. It just goes over fireballs. It also it's plus. You don't have to worry about DI if you space it correctly. She's like a better version of Honda. The next character, this one's I'm really excited to talk about, is actually Rashid, because Rashid, I didn't get a chance to do a tier list with him. I was putting him somewhere around the mid tier, and we also know that Rashid had some very jarring weaknesses with his anti-air issues, just like Marisa did, because his heavy mixer doesn't have anti-air invincibility on frame 1, so you got to do it very early, and the OD version is the opposite problem, where you got to do it precisely or you'll lose your invincibility too fast and you'll get hit by a jump in, and his crouching medium punch is like a death sentence if you try using it against Luke or Ken. So fast forward to now, Gachikun, world champion, wins a major with Rashid, and inspired, and even now Oil King is using Rashid. Now we see the true potential of this character. And the cool thing is that, like, when I play like Rashid's online, they're always just trying to do Arabian Cyclone mix-ups between the medium and the heavy, and Gachikun doesn't do any of that, man. He straight up just bullies you with fireballs, abuses Rashid's absurd overhead that goes so far, and drive rush overhead goes so far.
Overhead.
Yeah, it's so good. And because Rashid is zoning you and his fireball is so unique because it goes in an arc, he doesn't have to worry about drive rushes. It helps like alleviate some of the mental stack. And Rashid's level 2, I think, single-handedly makes this character A tier. If Rashid, it's between JP, I think, and Rashid on having the best level 2 in the game.
Level 2s in the game. The top 3 level 2s in the game, in my honest opinion, is JP, Rashid, Blanka.
Yeah, Blanka. Rashid's level 2, like, it stays on the screen for so long.
Great Desert Storm.
And even when it's like done, no matter where the opponent is on the screen, they made it so that Rashid can kick it towards the opponent and
Arabian Cycle
and get one more last attempt to deal with them.
And every time Gachikun was winning, like in matches, you know how they play the highlights? Literally every highlight of his match is just Great Desert Storm, Great Desert Storm.
No, it's true though.
Yeah, dude.
It's true. The level 2 is that strong. Rashid sometimes does level 2 twice in one round. Because Rashid he's pressuring you and he's gaining his meter back because it just stays on the screen for so long. It's really that good. And now Rashid players have really optimized his level 2, so when he does open you up, he could do absurd damage. It's really risky to parry.
Dude.
Like even parry doesn't help you because Rashid players can push you out of the tornado and throw you. It's just really, really good. His weaknesses, like his buttons feel kind of stubby, and his damage output in mid screen is
very bad.
It's pretty low, dude. Like even if he hits you with a clean hit heavy punch and drive rushes and dumps all the bar, it's just not on the level of some other characters. So Blanka, he's interesting too. He's got many weaknesses because he's like a trickster character, and he's got a lot of like high risk, high reward moves, just like Blanka and other Street Fighters. But what makes Blanka so strong though is that his level 2, like you said, it's a top 3 level 2. The stupid air ball dive kick.
Oh my god, bro. He has the best dive kick in the game. People complain about Cammy's dive kick. What about Blanka, bro? Like,
he's got to charge, dude. He's got to charge.
He's got to charge? He can do it while jumping back.
Dude, you don't have to charge, man. Come on.
Right?
The airball is so powerful. It's just one of the best defensive options in the game.
It really is.
It just helps deal with shimmy, helps deal with throw loops, and he still keeps his turn, and it's so rewarding. It's so powerful.
Very strong anti-airs. You know, standing roundhouse.
Yeah, standing roundhouse is really good.
I think the biggest thing about this character that propelled him up so much is the Blanka Chan.
And that was the thing that, like, when we first saw Blanka trailers, I was super excited because I'm like, wow, this character is like gonna be really, really deep now. You know, what is the potential of this Blanka Chan doll? I'm so happy that it's real. Like, these setups are real. They're not gimmicks. They're very, very powerful, even when you know how they work.
So, like, when he does the Blanka Chan in tandem with his level 2, especially when you're cornered, when he does the Blanka Chan and then he activates level 2, he can usually mix you up for like an overhead that he could combo from, a throw he could combo from. If you drive reversal him, the Blanka Chan will still be out on screen if he blocks it. Yeah. And if he gets hit, it goes away. But if he has the level 2, he can go back in regardless. When he touches you, he gets like standing roundhouse loops into Rainbow Ball because the Blanka Chan will juggle you. So he'll just be able to do it over and over. Like, anytime he lands a hit, he's going to kill you.
It's very, very strong. It's definitely, like I said, the air ball in the level 2 and Blanka Chan is what keeps Blanka above the characters that we're going to show below him. Okay, so we're pretty secure now on
top 11.
Top 11. Blanka barely made it. We're heading to our mid tiers now, you would say?
Yeah, arguably the mid tier in the game.
Arguably mid tiers. Okay, this is gonna be tricky now. This is where it's like we're kind of like, Kimberly is interesting. We had a CPT World Warrior tournament won by Kimberly, and there's some of the top GP players were in that tournament, including Kakeru. She got one of the biggest nerfs before the game came out, and that was nerfing her reversal. She has a lot of weaknesses. One of the biggest ones, her damage output is so absurdly low. She has to hit you a million times, and that's what makes people frustrated too. Her throw damage is the same as Jamie level 0.
It is.
The only time her throw, the normal damage her throw should do is when her level 3 buff is up.
Yep.
And that's what becomes really dangerous. Her corner game is really, really strong. Like, it's some of the best corner. Her skip neutral tactics are also amazing too. She's so good at skipping neutral. There's a lot of like knowledge check on how she skips neutral too.
Because she tries to drive rush at you, or she tries to teleport at you, or she tries to forward heavy kick you, or she tries to run at you. But like, ultimately, if you can stop all of that, then what is she gonna do? She has to like either jump and then try to bait your anti-air with jump elbow, or she has to like walk forward and then try to hit stand medium kick so she could drive rush into crouching medium kick. Like, that's literally all she can really do. Because like, outside of that, like, she's not doing much else. She has to really play.
She kind of runs out of steam too. Like, if she opens you up, she'll use a lot of meter and she'll get you in the corner and she'll do her thing. But at any point, like, if the opponent gets out or
they guess right,
and they back throw her, she has no reversal and she just gets mauled. Like, she just kind of just runs out of juice eventually because her damage output's so low. I'm kind of disappointed with her can setups, to be honest with you, Sonic, because she doesn't replenish her stocks naturally with the cans.
Yeah, she has to do it herself.
She only gets 2. So Capcom was suspecting it to be very, very strong with her. And don't get me wrong, there are some strong corner setups with the cans that are very real, but I was expecting more with the cans, I guess, in general.
So I don't know. I feel like she's in a very good
got a lot
spot.
of gimmicks too, Sonic. Like the forward heavy kicks got so many options to beat
kick,
it.
You could either cross up, but then they could do jab.
The teleport also, you can option select beat it too because of the color. Exactly. You can see the color. Like there's a lot of gimmicky stuff that she has. So who else do you think would be up there above the rest of the characters right now? Who would you toss in there? I'm just letting you do your thing right now because I'm just like.
No, I feel you. I actually think like Sim is also another one that could be really.
If you were gonna ask me, I was gonna put Dhalsim at the top and then Kimberly right behind Dhalsim. That's what I would have done. I would have done it like in this order.
Yeah, we're somewhat similar. Like,
so Dhalsim, he's traditionally really strong in many Street Fighter games because his crazy unique way of zoning you out and having absurd buttons. But now Dhalsim's in a world where there's drive rush. I think he just doesn't use the drive rush mechanic as well as other characters can. In case people don't know, his level 1 super doesn't have invincibility like most level 1s. So it brings him down to like his reversal options is level 2, level 3.
And it's sad because if he only has level 1 and he's burned out, he's dying. He's just dead.
Yeah, he's in trouble. And his level 2 as well, like even when he does use his reversal, even if you guess right, like sometimes the opponent like press the right button where he doesn't have to worry about the level 2, like it doesn't even hit him.
Another thing about this character too is his teleport is not frame 1 invincible. So you could actually meaty him. You could either throw him or you could meaty him.
Oh yeah. Because in Street Fighter 5, it wasn't, you could throw him, but you couldn't strike him. Right?
Yeah, it was strike invincible.
I think like if we compare him to the other zoners, he just has much more bigger weaknesses, like compared to Guile and JP.
Yeah, exactly.
But with that being all that said, though, even though we're talking mostly about Dhalsim's weaknesses, like I still think like if we compare him to the mid tiers or the low tier characters, I think Dhalsim is way at the top. Like he's about to make it to like the level of like A tier. And like I said, the character's got a lot of depth, so maybe one day we'll see him. Like he just needs a little nudge, basically. I know Japan puts Manon like higher up just because of her normals alone. Just the normals carry. She has some of the best normals. Neutral is
okay.
Some of the best normals
are really good too.
Yeah, crouching fierce is good. Standing heavy kick is amazing. Standing medium punch is also amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But like she's got like some bad normals too. Like her crouching lights, like she doesn't stick well like a grappler would. Like after she bullies you a little bit of lights, you're pushed out so far. Her Oki game is just not as strong. She's so susceptible to being zoned out, and she doesn't have a true reversal as well. She's got to use her supers, her level 1 and level 2. That just really hurt her. And then since she's a momentum based character, if she doesn't get that momentum, she is pretty much relying on her normals to win. And it's not like she has got like a drive rush crouching mean kick either.
I think her drive rush is bad.
Yeah, it's like the worst drive rush in the game. When she uses her whole kit together, she can really burden your mental stack like Ken can, but it's just not as good as Ken's. But like between just her jumping heavy kick, which is really good, and the overhead kick, which is hard to react to, and then you have to worry about DI and just how scary she is because she's got a really strong command grab. That really helps her too in her neutral game as well. It helps her like make some better risks and jump in. And once she gets on you, it's really scary. Like once Manon does get in close to you, you are very scared. You almost like want to jump every time.
A lot of people said when the game first came out, she was a very snowbally character, and they thought she was like a top tier character because of it. But I'm like, the rest of her kit is just
like most fighting games. Like grapplers are usually exceptional in the first month, and there's a lot of knowledge checks. Grapplers usually always get a good head start with every fighting game. That's usually
I agree.
I think to help us narrow this down, let's talk about like the Bs. Because I think that'll help us figure out like, who for sure. Okay, I want to go over the definites for sure that we can agree on, and then we'll narrow it down. Okay, the first one for sure I want to put in B. I definitely want to put Jamie in there. I'm still stuck on Jamie being low. I summarized it pretty well on my first tier list video, but Jamie just has such a unique weakness that no other character has to deal with. He starts with a 10% damage penalty. He doesn't have access to all of his moves, and if he is put in a very strange situation where if he lands a hit on you, he's got to decide to give up his pressure to get drinks to have access to his moves, or he tries to gamble and goes all in and he's doing like Kimberly damage to you and loses all steam.
Bro, drive rush stand heavy punch is literally all this character
the crazy thing too is like Jamie now, the way this character has evolved, or I guess devolved into, is that he's dude, it's so funny. Like Jamie's doing fine in terms of the meta because he's just drive rushing heavy punch now, or random OD palm, and he's still doing his sweeps to this day. He's still doing his sweeps.
That's all he does, bro.
And like I said, Jamie's so cool too because like I said, the Jamie community has found so much cool stuff with him. To this day, I'm still seeing new tech videos with Jamie, and I think that's so awesome. It's just this character can't win.
So bad.
He just can't win, dude. He's so unstable. I can't even like. Thing is, like, I understand his design. Like, he's a huge double-edged sword character, but even when he gets 4 drinks, it doesn't even guarantee that he's gonna win. Like when he has 4 drinks, he's just top tier. But like,
and then it's like when he wins or when he loses, it's like a whole day passes.
Yeah, exactly. You'll get 4 drinks. You'll see the Jamie potential, and then the next round starts, and you forgot it even happened. Like it was just a dream. It was just a dream, and you woke up, and he's back to 0 drinks. Like it's just crazy. The character is just, he's too risky. For how weak he is at the start at 0 drinks, level 4, he needs to be a god, dude. He gets like a better back heavy punch. I mean, his Rekka becomes safe on block. His palm does more damage. Like, that's not enough, man. Okay, he needs, when he gets that 4th drink, his hair needs to turn gray and he needs to have a cane in his hand. You know what I'm saying? Dude, this is where we're gonna kind of have disagreement. I think Honda is B, dude. I think he's with Jamie.
I can see it.
Look, okay. The reason
I can see it a little.
Dude, Honda is just such a one-trick pony character, dude. Dude, this character, he is such a one-trick pony, bro. Like, it really just comes. Don't get me wrong. The headbutt and the butt slam are some of the best multi-purpose moves in the game. Like,
but if you can't,
you need to close the gap, headbutt. You need to win neutral and beat a button, headbutt. The guy jumps in on you, you need to anti-air, headbutt. He throws fireballs, OD headbutt. You need a reversal, OD headbutt. Like, it's the same move for everything. And if they jump, it's butt slam. You need to get in, it's butt slam. You need to be, dude, everything. It's like, it's just these 2 damn moves over and over again. You know what I'm saying? Like,
who was cooking at Capcom to think like it was okay to make it -4 but have massive pushback?
He's just such a strange character because like he absolutely mauls new players in this game. Like, just
he's definitely a scrub
he's
check.
A huge knowledge check character. He mauls them, but when you go against pros with this character just gets skinned alive. Like, he's just, I don't know, man. I cannot put Honda at the level of Dhalsim or Kimberly because I think Dhalsim and Kimberly in really, really skilled hands can win. But Honda, even when we saw Nassim, and he did beat Moke, don't get me wrong, bro, but he literally used diamond rank tactics and Moke was throwing fireballs like dude, he gave Honda so much respect. This dude is throwing fireball with Chun-Li after teching a throw in the corner. Okay, he sealed his fate. That was his fault. He got hit by it twice, by the way.
He did get hit by it twice.
He did, like, Moke was not ready for the Platinum Diamond Honda experience. Okay, he hasn't been there in so long. He just forgot. Honda's got to take so much damn risk. Just so much risk.
Bro, the character is literally like a perfect parry simulator. From the first day I fought him, I'm like, okay, if I can't perfect parry him, I just lose the game. If I can perfect parry him, he just dies. If I get in, he just dies.
Yeah.
That's literally all he is. And I think that's a very upsetting like way to design a character, in my honest opinion. Yes, do it.
Dude, I don't know if I want to do it or not, man. I don't know. I'm looking at Aki right now, man.
Do it, bro.
I don't know if I can do it, guys. I don't know if I can do it, man. I don't know. She's my main, man. I'm gonna.
No, she's not. You play Luke now, you liar.
No, Aki's my main. Aki. I can sum this one up easily too, since I main Aki. She has no buttons. This character has no. If you're using joystick and you look down and you see the 6 buttons, none of them do anything when you press them. Nothing happens at all. And Capcom held so much restraint on this character's buttons, it's like unreal. And don't get me wrong, if you look at the hitbox of all of her buttons, they're actually really good. Forward heavy punch, standing medium kick, crouching medium kick. They have really good, and standing heavy punch. Like, they have great hitboxes. But they're so slow. And they, like, her standing head punch is 14 frames. Dude, that's insane. It's so, I will shimmy someone, Sonic, and I'll see them whip the throw and I'll press heavy punch and they'll block. Her standing medium kick, like, unlike Kimberly's standing medium kick, or Jamie's, it's not cancelable. And her crouching medium kick, unlike a lot of characters' crouching medium kick, is also not cancelable. And so it just really makes it so that with Aki, you find yourself just using light serpent lash to win neutral because it's just your best option because you're just scared of losing exchanges. And her crouching medium punch is cancelable, but it's 8 frames. It's slow.
Yep.
Doesn't go very far. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, she has to play super slippery. If you see the memes on like Twitter or Reddit or whatever, you see the memes of like her walking animation or her dashing animation where she puts her hands like back and forth. That's literally what the character does. She has to like dash back and forth, or she has to drive rush crouching medium kick or drive rush overhead. She literally has to like abuse drive rush or she has to like press like one normal, like stand medium kick, and that's it. Like if she wants to like actually play the neutral, she can't even use her fireball. Her fireball is 52 total frames.
She doesn't have different fire. She only has one fireball. There's no alternate speeds. There's no alternate speeds at all. She only has that one fireball. But don't get me wrong, like she can cancel it into her OD slide, which is unique. It's really good. But like she will lose fireball wars with pretty much everyone. Medium serpent lash, Sonic. 17 frames.
So slow whiffs on crouchers, bro.
Can't use it like poison. That's for damn sure.
Of course not,
Can't
bro.
use it like poison.
I thought you would be able to. That was what got me hype. I was like, can you use it like poison? And then sure enough, it's super slow. Can only be used in post-stun scenarios where you want to actually crumple them.
She has a lot of strengths too, though.
Her damage is good.
Her damage is good. I don't like. Everyone says she's got low damage. Her damage is really good. And when she has you in the corner, she has one of the strongest stun damage combos in the game. If she stuns you, you're pretty much dead, especially if she has meter. She has good resets, really good safe jump setups that you can even use mid-screen. She still has Fireball Drive Rush. She actually has one of the best Drive Rushes too. Her Drive Rush goes, I think, the furthest. It's a good Drive Rush. Drive Rush forward heavy kick is really good too. But like I said, there's just certain things about the stuff that makes her really strong. Like for example, the Drive Rush Fireball, the Fireball itself, like I said, the fireball itself is not that strong. And the forward heavy kick, as good as it is, it's susceptible to drive reversal when they block it. Getting him into the corner when you have a character without buttons, just winning neutral in general is tough. And you know, it's sad too, because every content creator was playing Aki at the beginning, and it seems like there's like no one left except for like Broski. There's just so much of the match with Aki that you just feel like so much of your kit you can't use because of her buttons. There's such a huge weakness. You are throwing out Serpent Lash so much, and you're susceptible to getting jumped in for so long. And when you're stuck in the corner, especially against characters that have really good corner games, like Cammy, for example, with Aki, you're just sitting there. Like you're sitting there for so long, waiting for a chance to use your OD slide to get out, or you're going for the jump.
You just get thrown anyway. Get thrown anyway.
And it's just, like she's now that players starting to understand the matchup with Aki as well. Like that's where I see a lot of the content creators started dropping off with her. I think Ryu, he's well-rounded enough that I can put him near the bottom of B+ somewhere. I don't think his weaknesses are as jarring as Jamie or Honda.
For me, I had him at the top of B. I'm interested to hear why you have him at the bottom of B+.
I'm sure it's just the same typical arguments, Ryu, he technically has all the tools to win. He has a good fireball. He's got a good uppercut. His damage
high.
It's arguably high. It's a little overrated because the Ryu mid-screen damage is pretty bad. His conversions are pretty bad mid-screen. It's usually when you talk about Ryu damage, you're talking about him landing a full jump in on you and you're near the corner. And he does
that's the World Warrior damage. That's the
loop or the OD Tatsu. He also has just compared to the other well-rounded characters in the game, like Luke, Ken, Juri. He's just kind of worse in every way. He just
no Oki.
His drive rush is just so slow. His conversions are just not that good. The mid-screen damage just really hurts him. Ryu players have thrown out random donkey kicks. His heavy punch is just
like it's sumo headbutt, bro.
His neutral, even though it's way better than Street Fighter 5, his heavy punch is just not on the level of Luke or Ken. Ryu's drive rush is what really hurts him. Even him abusing drive rush fireball. He just can't do it
the way that other characters can do it because it's just too slow.
And the OD fireball knocks down, which is a bad thing in this game.
It's good that it knocks down only because it can carry them to the corner and it can also, essentially build up space. But I mean, Ken can do EX fireball and it keeps you standing, and then he drive rushes and then you're in the corner anyway, so it doesn't matter.
He got nerfed in the beta too. I just think he just doesn't mesh well with the meta right now with Ryu compared to other characters.
You got a set play. You got a corner carry.
Let's talk about the last two here. Lily, this character, man, she's like another one-trick pony character, and she had some success really early. But like I said, like most grapplers, they get a good head start. We're starting to see Lily players gravitate towards modern controls with was it Kichipamu that was using modern?
Kichipamu.
What she gets in modern controls, she loses her standing medium kick, and she can use her instant level 3 to punish some things uniquely. She can use her OD Condor Spire even faster. Obviously, she has an easier time anti-airing because her anti-airs are quite good. But this character is just, like I said, her entire game is OD Spire, just nonstop. It's crazy. Yeah. She received more nerfs than JP.
You know, she could do her dive kick jumping back at one point.
Yeah, jumping back.
No, she can't have that.
Exactly. Yeah. Did they take away her jump cancel for her command grab so she can do like... They did take it away? The entire character is held together by OD Spire. And OD Spire is essentially just a better drive rush. Like it goes through fireballs. She's plus startup. It's almost it's pretty much unreactable fast, and that is the character. And then she will loop you. I think she's more stable than Jamie because getting the win stocks is not that hard with her. She's got one of the strongest like damaging level 3s in the game too. She's just non-stop guessing on you. A lot of times the Lily players gotta use lights, just constant lights, and just loop you to death, and it just gives the opponent a really long time to finally guess right on her. And that's just, she's just like Honda, where she's a one-trick pony. I'm gonna put Zangief up here too. Compared to my first tier list, I had only Zangief in B-, but now the way I described Marisa, where she has these big weaknesses, yet she can hang with the top tier characters just because of her damage output, I feel like I have to make the same argument with Zangief as well, even though I'd still have him quite low. 3 SPDs and you're dead, man. Like if Zangief and pretty much 2 jump-ins and you're dead against a Zangief, and he has a lot of health. Zangief can random you up, man. He just can. And don't get me wrong, he's got a ton of bad matchups, but his damage output is so good.
He actually has a really good tool in standing heavy punch, in charge standing heavy punch, because it has that one hit of armor. You can actually stop drive impact the same way you would stop drive impact as Marisa. It just doesn't break armor, but it's actually really good because it's out there for a long time. It's a sliding knockdown on punish counter, and then you get to drive rush in. Very good at being able to make people scared on offense into his command grab in the first place. Couple that with his headbutt and his ability to essentially walk you down, because he's like a giant tank. The fact that like he's able to walk you down with really solid buttons like standing medium punch is so obnoxious. The slap, so good.
He's one of those characters that, like, on paper, if you play against this character perfectly, you should be able to smash him. It really comes down to your skill. Like, how perfectly can you play? Can you be ready to anti-air Zangief every time he goes for a jump? Can you do it? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, everyone's gonna say that Zangief's lariat is so unreliable as an anti-air from, and his level 1 is like the worst level 1 in the game.
Yeah, it is the worst level 1 because you can't even wake up with it. At least his level 2 side switches though. He has the option to side switch.
It's got good utility. And even though his drive rush is not the best, it's still Zangief with drive rush. Like when he SPDs you and takes off a third of your health, like he still drive rushes and he's close. It's not Oki, it's not Vortex, but he's close. Like he's a sweep away from you being in trouble.
And he could space out his overhead kick, his forward heavy kick, right? Like he could either do like drive rush low or drive rush overhead. It's not like he's next to you when he does it, but you do have to worry about whether or not he's going to do one or the other. And again, if the drive rush overhead kick is spaced out, you can't really contest it. You kind of have to hold it. So,
and Zangief's just scary, dude. Like he's straight up scary. Like when I play Zangief, I never feel like it's free. Like when I play Zangief, like I'm super focused. Like this character is super scary in this game. This might be my last tier list for season 1. Actually, we'll see what happens after Capcom Cup or after Ed is released. So undisputed, I think that it's unanimous. I think no one disagrees that JP and Ken are definitely the top 2s right now. JP just breaks the game, and Ken is just no weaknesses. Then in the A+, we have characters that are exceptional with almost no weakness. Almost no weakness. I would say Luke, Dee Jay, and Chun-Li, and these 3, all 5 of these characters are performing very well to this day in tournaments. Like all characters are doing very, very well. And then once we get to the A, we had a slight disagreement, Sonic and I, on Guile and Dee Jay. Sonic feels like Guile should have just been 1 step higher and Dee Jay 1 step lower. But for the most part, we're in agreement with everyone else. These characters are all really, really good characters, but they have bigger weaknesses than the characters that are in the top 5, basically. Just more obvious weaknesses. Then once we get to the B+, then we have characters with big weaknesses. And then once we get to B, we have characters with huge weaknesses. And anyone can make an argument on a character being slightly higher or slightly in front, and changing the order and all that. But for the most part, we've been talking with the chat, and everyone kind of we're all kind of on the same level here. There's no like jarring disagreement. Now that we see the full picture of like where our tier list is at, Sonic, like what do you see here? We see characters that do really well in the current Drive Rush meta, especially Drive Rush Lights. and dealing with Drive Rush. It's still the same thing like with my initial tier list. Any of these characters here in the A, like if they get even slight buffs, they can jump up to the top. These B plus characters have a lot of potential to if they get big buffs, they can definitely go up as well. But I feel like the characters in B are like, they need some
they actually need to get reworked.
They need some big help, I would say. One thing I really want to hammer home too, when people watching this, they see these characters at the bottom, like they're gonna think like these characters are just like all unwinnable at the bottom here. It's still B. No. Like the game is surprisingly really balanced for its first season. I think all these characters all have a potential to win a major or a big CPT tournament, and a lot of them actually have. Anyways, Sonic, thanks so much for sitting with me for who knows how many hours making this tier list. I'm gonna have to really shorten this up on YouTube, but thanks so much for your time, dude. And I'm glad we agree on a lot of stuff. I'm actually surprised.
You definitely tried to mix me with the Juri Cammy, but
I did, but it was so close. I know you were waiting for me to see where I was gonna put Cammy, because I made sure not to discuss this with Sonic beforehand just to make sure there's be some surprises, but no, we're actually in agreement on a lot of it.